Thanks for watching us on Mid-Morning. It's been a remarkable few days in presidential and pandemic history. The president, Donald Trump, diagnosed with COVID-19, the biggest health threat to a president in decades. There's a lot to break down here, so we wanted to talk about the timeline of all of this happening with Esme. You've been following this, of course, all weekend, Esme, and it seems that at least the thinking right now for when all of this started was the Rose Garden ceremony for Amy Coney Barrett, right?
Right, of course, which was a week ago Saturday. Then you kind of fast forward to Wednesday. He was here in Minnesota. And that is when they announced the next day that Hope Hicks had tested positive. In Minnesota, I was 10 feet from him on the tarmac. This is the Rose Garden ceremony.
Right.
We're seeing it's been identified as a super spreader. 9+ people, including Chris Christie, the First Lady, 2 Republican senators have been identified as testing positive.
President of Notre Dame, all these people who are here, right?
Now, the other big event, though, before I get to his trip to Minnesota, was the debate.
Right.
And apparently 5 people, including Chris Christie and Kellyanne Conway, who were part of that debate prep team, have tested positive.
So maybe that was the spreader,
right.
the main event.
And notable there, you see, there is the president's family, there is Ivanka Trump, no one wearing masks in the audience on the Trump side. That apparently was against the rules of the debate. Yeah,
they wore a mask walking in, right? But when they were sitting down, they were not.
Right. But then, you know, he comes to Minnesota on Wednesday.
2 events in Minnesota, right?
Well, he has 2 events in Minnesota. He also actually came, when he came off the plane on the tarmac, he came and he talked to a crowd. He was about 5 or 6 feet from a crowd of people. It was a very small crowd that came out to the airport to see him. Then he went to a private fundraiser at Marty Davis, the CEO of Cambria's house, and then he flew to Duluth. But flying with him for that big rally, flying with him to Minneapolis were 3 members of the Minnesota congressional delegation. Then Jason Lewis, the U.S. Senate candidate, gets on the plane to go to Duluth with him. A lot of exposure of very prominent Minnesotans who met the president that day.
Now, do we have any sense as to how close they were, right? The CDC says exposure has to be within 6 feet for 15 minutes.
They are all saying that they were not.
Yeah,
I've talked to Jason
Lewis,
got a statement from the members of Congress. But no, Jason Lewis is very clear that he was, you know, always within 6 feet. The president looked great on Wednesday. I thought he looked very well. He seemed very energetic. He came over and talked to the crowd. The speech in Duluth was shorter than normal, but people have pointed out it was 40 and kind of raining in Duluth.
For sure, yeah.
But it was still 46 minutes long, which for anybody else was fine. But then you've got this SUV ride, Jason, yesterday, which is really raising a lot of questions when obviously he is positive and he is in the car with Secret Service agents. Right,
and you see they're wearing medical grade masks and they're covered. It appears that they have a gown of some sort over their suits. Esme, is this, I mean, I understand why people are questioning with the Secret Service agents in there, but aren't there Secret Service agents with him in the hospital as well? I can't imagine that.
Absolutely. You know, they put their lives on the line every day, but I also, you know, I think there really is a question here about this event, and also what message does it send to all the people who are out there? The president doesn't really seem to be taking this as seriously and critically as a lot of experts say he should, and a lot of people are worried about that and the message it sends.
Yeah, lots, you know, the biggest challenge with this is we don't know what to believe. His own doctors came forward and admitted that the primary White House doctor admitted that he lied.
Right, I saw the Saturday, never been on oxygen, doing really well, no problem. And in fact, the president's oxygen levels dipped down to what some people consider critical points. So he obviously, the reason he went to Walter Reed was not out of an abundance of caution. He was very, very sick and still is very sick.
Right. All right. Well, we all hope for the best, for sure. But, you know, it's difficult to know what to make of any of this when you don't have information you can trust, right?
Right.